So today I wanted to talk about, it's a multi-part thing, but it's basically the whole interaction of moving backwards to hit overhead shots, right? So that includes several things, which is like the split stop, the footwork necessary to get back there, and then also like how to properly set your feet so that you get power, right? Because like you probably know enough about badminton now that's like when they hit up, that's like an attacking opportunity, right? But it's like if your backwards movement or if your like stroke set isn't effective, then you can't attack those things, right? And then you're at an intermediate level, like clearing is basically like an attack because people can't hit down effectively from the backcourt. But like when you play against good players, they can all smash from the back and they can get there and they can smash. And your goal is to be able to attack those like whenever you get those opportunities, right? And so there's a lot of moving parts. So we're gonna start with the split step, which is that like in a lot of situations, especially coming from tennis, like your split step is going to be like sideways. But in certain situations, like if you're playing singles, for example, you're almost always going to want to offset your split step so there's like some front back component, and this helps you move backwards. For example, if you're on doubles defense, you're standing side by side here, you'll be side to side if they're smashing, right? But if you think they're going to drop or clear, then you want to split step front back. And the reason for that is so you'll be able to move forward or backward more effectively, right? So if you're playing against someone who's like off balance or you know they're not going to smash, then you want to change the split step front back. I think one question maybe you'll be wondering is like, okay, do I dominant leg forward or dominant leg backwards? So that depends, right? It's like dominant leg backward is more for getting ready for an overhead shot, right? You can see that I can jump backwards more effectively. So if you think they're going to lift more, then you can do that. Or if you think they're going to try to go to the net, then you can split step with your dominant foot forward, and then you just walk to the net, right? The main point that I'm trying to make is that when the bird goes up, you want to split step front back, and that'll help you move backwards. Because if you have a flat split step, like moving backwards is really hard. There are a lot of options for going backwards, right? Some of you might be more comfortable like sidestepping or like shuffling or something like that. So one of today's goals is going to be you want to figure out what works well for you. And so there's a lot of options. I'm going to show you some of them right now, right? So the one that you'll see in videos is a lot of sidestepping like this, right? So you do the split step and you'll, right? 2 or 3, and then you're there. Another one is like stepping, crossing over, right? So that'll be like, and then usually you can get there in like 2 steps. And then the other one, like kind of like the, right, just like walking backwards. The problem with the walking backwards one is that it's easier to develop the bad habit of not going back far enough, right? Because like that's what beginners do, where they like kind of track the racket with their bird and they don't go back far enough, right? So it's like, yeah, I don't go back far enough. So you have to get used to going back at a more rapid pace. You know, we're gonna practice that. However, the most important thing, how you plant your feet before you make your shot, right? And that means really putting an emphasis on like loading your right leg very heavily when you go back. And now for the purposes of this drill, we're gonna like exaggerate very heavily, okay? So I'm gonna show you what happens when I don't plant my feet, right? So if I wanna like clear, for example, right? Right? So like I can hit it, but I can't establish an attacking shot, right? I don't have any threat from there, because like I can hit it high, but I don't have any foundation to generate power, because I'm just shuffling back and then I'm like hitting like this. Now, if I do have a foundation and I plant my feet properly, right? So this all comes from being able to like load your foot before you go instead of just like hitting outright, right? So a lot of you are probably just like only using your arms right now. So the one thing I want you to do is like after you go back here, you want to like take your foot and then you want to like turn it outwards, and then you really want to lunge into it, right? So you might think that you're loading your foot. You're like, oh, it feels like I'm loading my foot, but you're not actually doing it as much as you think you are, right? So you really, today we're gonna really exaggerate and like just really go deep like this. You know, set your racket, open your shoulders, and then do the stroke